Fall is literally 2 weeks away and I am so excited. Yes, I believe fall starts on September 1st. September through November, the whole time. I don't care, fight me on it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melanie and today we are talking about my favorite season and the books that are coming out starting in September. So the goal of this video is to get you a kickstart to see what's coming out that fit the fall vibe. So most of these books are like in that fall kind of witchy, fantasy, paranormal, like still some lit fic in there, horror genres. To get you excited for fall. These are all will kind of be on my TBR. Like I will have a very long TBR video that I will be putting out at some point once fall starts actually. And you know, it's a like very unrealistic length. So these will definitely be on there. So I'm not gonna like add those to that video, but these are ones that are coming out soon to get you excited for what's coming in fall. And there's some really great ones on this list that I'm really looking forward to, so I'm excited to share with you all. Unless you already know about all of these, and if that's so, just, you know, you're here for the ride. So I've broken it out into kind of like 2 books a category, like light categories. They're not like super strict, so bear with me. But I had the handy dandy ChatGPT help me write down the synopsises, that they're not like super long, so I don't spend a ton of time just reading it to you guys. So let's get started. I have 2 dark academia books to start with. The first one is Stephanie Garber's adult fantasy debut. And so she wrote Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, and I loved that trilogy. That was really fun. She also wrote Caraval, I don't know how you say it, but I didn't read that. That's like technically the prequel to Once Upon a Broken Heart, but you don't have to read one, though there's like some mild spoilers, but I didn't, and I'm fine, and I lived and I survived. So she has her adult debut coming out and I'm very excited for it, and it is a dark academia-esque set in LA, surprisingly. So like urban fantasy, which doesn't always sit well with me, but I'm curious what this will be like because it's dark academia, and usually that like bodes a little better for like contemporary fantasy. But this one is called Alchemy of Secrets. It comes out October 7th, so a little bit of a wait, but still like in the middle of, technically start of fall, but the middle of fall for me. So I'll read you a little synopsis. Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber is a dark adult fantasy set in a myth-laced version of Los Angeles. Grad student Holland St. James is told she'll die by midnight unless she finds the mysterious alchemical heart. As she races through a world of secret societies, urban legends, and old Hollywood magic, she must decide who to trust before time runs out. It's a story of myth, danger, romance, and a desperate search for truth. I hope, as an LA native, I hope they have the Magic Castle in there as like a magical world. That would just make my heart happy. And it's like the one magic place in LA, so it better be in there. I'm telling you, Stephanie Garber, you better be in there. And also something I'm excited about is the audiobook is narrated, or will be narrated, by Sutton Foster, who I also love. Which I don't know if I'll like her voice. I don't know if we'll see. But I think that's pretty cool. She's a pretty big name. So yeah, very, very excited for this one. We'll see if I love or hate the fact that it's set in LA. But I love her like whimsical writing, so I'm very much looking forward to her adult debut. Hopefully it's good. The next one is also dark academia, but it's not a fantasy. It's more like literary fiction, dark academia, and it is The Bells by Lacey N. Dunham. This comes out pretty soon, September 9th. This is set in 1951 at an elite all-girls college. The Bells follows Dina Williams, a working-class newcomer who joins a secretive clique known as the Bells. As they push boundaries with daring pranks, Dina uncovers dark secrets about the school and risks her own hidden past being exposed. A story about privilege, friendship, and the cost of belonging. Secret History 2.0? Kind of The Bunny, maybe? or Bunny. Sorry, I know it's not The Bunny, it's Bunny by Mona Awad. I feel like there's a lot of maybe references that will be brought to this from other similar dark academia set books. So I'm very curious what this will be like, and it sounds great. I love the historical fiction aspect with it set in the 50s. I think that's unique. So I am looking forward to this one. I hope it turns out good. Next category is paranormal / fantasy. One's more paranormal and one's more fantasy, but it doesn't matter. I tried, guys. I tried. Okay, first one is Akweke Emezi is doing a fantasy, like fantasy romance. And so it is called Son of the Morning, and it comes out October 2nd. And so I'm really intrigued. I don't know if this is their first time doing fantasy. Like, Pet was very much like fantasy adjacent magical realism, so I'm not so surprised, but like fantasy romance is a little surprising, but I haven't read their entire catalog and I don't even know their entire catalog, so I'm excited. I think this will be really fun. So let me read you the synopsis. In Son of the Morning, Akweke Emezi blends Southern folklore, sensuality, and the supernatural in a story about Galilee, a young woman raised by a powerful lineage of women in the mystical Black South. She's always felt different, like something inside her doesn't quite belong. When a magnetic stranger named Lucifer enters her life, secrets begin to unravel, drawing her into a world of ancient forces, forbidden attraction, and a power she never expected to claim. As the lines between love, danger, and destiny blur, Galilee must confront who and what she really is. Love the setting. Lucifer, you know, I love a good devil as a love interest. If he is a love interest, I'm not sure. We'll see. But yeah, sounds really fun, actually, and I'm really excited for it. Sadly, I have to wait till October still. But next we have another book by Oyinkan Braithwaite, another author that I've read one book from before as well. She did My Sister the Serial Killer, and it was really fun and quick read. And so she has a new one coming out on November 4th called Cursed Daughters, and this one sounds really fun too. Ani is born on the day her cousin Monifa dies, and the striking resemblance sparks a belief in her reincarnation. Her family, burdened by a centuries-old curse that dooms its women to heartbreak, urges that history will repeat. But when Anie falls in love with a boy she rescues, she must face whether this pattern will define her, or if she can finally break free from the past. I probably butchered those names. I did not look anything up before I read this, so sorry. But feels very like practical magic to me, you know, like the curse for heartbreak. So I wonder if there's like some similarities pulled from that story. There very well could not be, but I love the kind of vibe of like a cursed family, so really looking forward to that. And this is definitely longer than her last book was, so, and I don't know if that was her first book or not, and this is her second, but doesn't really matter. So this one I think will be like almost 400 pages, but still looking forward to it. There's actually quite a few, like 3 out of 4 so far are authors I've read already, so that's exciting. Next we have horror, which I am really excited for both of these picks. First one especially, oh my god, it sounds so good. So the first one is Hazelthorn by C.G. Drews. This comes out October 28th, like right before Halloween, which I'm sad I have to wait so long to read it into fall, so tear, sad. But this is about Evander, raised in isolation at the eerie Hazelthorn estate, inherits the mansion after his guardian's sudden death. Bound by strict rules and haunted by his dangerous past with Byron's grandson Laurie, Evander must unravel family secrets while facing a sentient, bloodthirsty garden that's creeping through the house. Blending gothic horror, mystery, and dark romance, Hazelthorn is a haunting tale of obsession and survival. I mean, sentient, creepy garden that is bloodthirsty and out for blood and killing, probably. Just the whole vibe. You know, I love a good gothic book, and this is just, you know, everything I could ask for in like with like horror vibes. So yeah, I'm very excited for that one, but I'm sad I have to wait so long. And I'm reading everything off my trusty laptop, if you were wondering. The next horror book is kind of more of a thriller horror, but the premise just sounded so fun, and just a little chaotic. So this is Breathe In, Bleed Out by Brian McCauley, and this comes out very soon, September 2nd. So it is a slasher novel that follows Hannah, a woman haunted by the mysterious death of her fiance Ben during a wilderness trip. Struggling with vivid nightmares and the trauma of that day, she joins her friends at an exclusive spiritual retreat in Joshua Tree, hoping for healing. However, the retreat's serene environment quickly turns into a nightmare when a masked killer begins targeting attendees. As the body count rises, Hannah must confront her past and uncover the identity of the ruthless predator threatening their lives. I also know there's like a guru in there at this retreat, which I feel like is really fun, and I don't know, it sounds like a campy slasher novel. I'm hoping it is, just even from the cover as well. So I'm really looking forward to checking it out, and hopefully I'll like this thriller. But we will see. We will see. Next we have two literary fiction, one kind of sci-fi adjacent also. Yeah, as you can see, these categories were really put together last minute and not particularly well thought out, but who cares? The first one is kind of not necessarily one that I would consider like a fall vibe, but I'm very interested in it. It's definitely like a more character-driven book, it seems like, and that is Happiness in Love by Zoe Dubno. This comes out also soon on September 2nd. In this debut novel, a disillusioned writer returns to New York City and reluctantly attends a dinner party hosted by her former friends, an artist and curator couple. Set in their Bowery loft, the evening unfolds as the narrator silently critiques the pretensions and moral emptiness of the art world elite, all while reflecting on her own complicity. Through sharp wit and unflinching honesty, the novel dissects the hollow pursuit of status and the yearning for authenticity in a world dominated by self-interest and superficiality. As someone who has lived in New York, I feel like I will really enjoy this novel. I'm also staying in Bowery when I'm there in October, so I might have to read this while I'm there. Just to get the full effect, but I feel like if the writing is really great, this will be a really great book. So that's why it's on this list. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope it's like gritty and, you know, witty also, like it says it will be. So maybe a little satire on that community. So I have high hopes. I'm trying not to go in with too high of expectations, because, you know, that's never a good idea usually. And so we move on to the next one. This is a new book by Ian McEwan. Ian McEwan, I think that's how you say it. This is a considered sci-fi without science, which is why I put it in like the lit fic category, because it's not like really sci-fi, but like maybe there's elements of sci-fi, but we'll see. This is What We Can Know, and this comes out September 16th, so also pretty soon. So this is split into two time periods, this book. So one is 2014. At a dinner party, renowned poet Francis Blundy reads aloud a new poem, A Corona for Vivian, dedicated to his wife. Unbeknownst to the guests, this poem will become an enduring mystery, with its message speculated upon for generations. 2119. In a post-apocalyptic future where much of the Western world has been submerged due to rising seas following a catastrophic nuclear accident, Thomas Metcalf, a lonely scholar and researcher, longs for the early 21st century. He becomes captivated by the elusive poem A Corona for Vivian and embarks on a quest to uncover its secrets. His search reveals a story of entangled loves and a brutal crime that challenges his assumptions about the past. Sounds interesting. I'm very curious what this future will be like, because I've read other books where like a submerged or really wet like dystopian like world is a thing, so I'm curious what his take on it is. And I've never read a book by him. Like, he's famous for Atonement, and so I was kind of surprised to see this kind of book come out from him, but I'm hoping this is like the really good lit fic with like some creepy vibes and an interesting structure. You know, I like really good structures when there's like multiple time periods or POVs. So we'll see. I have no idea what to expect with his writing, honestly. So we've made it to the last category, and that is cozy books. It's always nice to have some cozy books thrown in there with the horror, dark academia, and fantasy, even though these are both cozy fantasy, so still fantasy. But the first one is A Curious Kind of Magic by Mara Rutherford. This comes out October 21st. It is a cozy YA fantasy novel set in the whimsical town of Ardmere. 17-year-old Willow Stokes inherits her late father's magical curiosity shop, but its enchanted items are mere fakes. When Brianna Hargrave arrives, everything she touches turns to genuine magic. Desperate to save the shop, Willow proposes a deal: help Brianna find a grimoire to break her curse in exchange for turning the shop's items real. Together with Finlay, a kind-hearted printer's assistant, they embark on a quest that reveals deeper mysteries and the true nature of magic. I hope this kind of feels like Nettle and Bone a little bit. I'm not expecting the same thing, but like a quest for this grimoire to break a curse is always nice, and like this interesting group of people. Also maybe like Teller of Small Fortunes, but I'm not going to get into that quite yet because you gotta wait for the next book. But this sounds great. Yeah, I love like a fake magical shop and then someone who can actually make it magical. Sounds cute and cozy. Okay, last book. I brought up the Teller of Small Fortunes because this is also by the same author, Julie Leong. This is The Keeper of Magical Things. This comes out October 14th. Also October, sad I have to wait so long. It is a heartwarming, sapphic, cozy fantasy novel that follows Certainty Bulrush, an almost mage with modest magical abilities, as she embarks on a mission to earn her magehood. Teaming up with the brilliant and aloof mage Aurelia, Certainty is tasked with transporting a collection of minor magical artifacts to the dull village of Spelling. As they work together to catalog enchanted items and navigate the quirky town, they uncover a hidden ancient power among the artifacts. So I think this is set in the same world as the Teller of Small Fortunes. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like Spelling seems familiar, but I'm not entirely sure. So don't quote me on that if I'm wrong. But I really enjoyed the Teller of Small Fortunes. That one didn't really have romance in it, so I'm excited that this one does, to see how that goes. And yeah, I'm curious to see what else comes out of this world, assuming it's the same world. No, I didn't read anything about a magical cat like the last book had, so there has to be some magical animal for me to really want to read it. Not really, but it's always a nice plus. So that wraps up the 10 upcoming books that are coming out this fall that I'm the most excited about. This does not include the ones that I mentioned in my mid-year book freakout tag. I just didn't want to talk about the same books over and over again, so if you want to check that out, please feel free, as well as books that I've talked about in the past in other videos. So these are all should be brand new on my channel for me talking about them. But I hope you are liking at least one of them and are interested and want to add it to your TBR for fall. Let me know in the comments below what you're most excited for, if anything. If there's any I missed that I should add to my list, please let me know. I always want more. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.